Um, if you say so. Oh, huh.
They found Jakobsen in early spring. The thaw had only just come. Even though he'd been dead nearly 7 months, his body had been frozen right down to the nerves and had not even begun to decompose. His fingernails were raw and bitten to the quick. They found the phosphorescent moss that grows in the caves deep under the nails. Whatever he'd been doing under the island when his strength began to fail is lost. He'd struggled halfway up the cliff again, perhaps in a delirium, perhaps trying to reach the Bothy's fire before curling into a stone and expiring.
So Jakobsen was the one that drew all the images in the cave then. So he's the one leaving messages. Okay. So yeah, why I just said huh is because that little tiny zoom is holding the left mouse button. It really does seem pointless because it doesn't really enhance much of anything, but it's there. It's a button that does something other than movement. Oh, is there light in the cave? No way,
Climbing
right?
down to the caves, I slipped and fell and have injured my leg. I think the femur is broken. It is clearly infected. The skin has turned a bright, tight pink, and the pain is crashing in on waves, winter tides against my shoreline, drowning out the ache of my stones. I struggled back to the bothy to rest, but it has become clear that there is only one way this is likely to end. The medical supplies I looted from the trawler have suddenly found their purpose. They will keep me lucid for my final ascent.
I don't know what the fuck was up with that background music, but it was creepy as fuck. That was absolutely creepy. I've still got goosebumps from that. Jesus. That was just a very creepy sound. Way to go. This is actually... That means death, right? Well, come on. You talk about ascent and then you cannot ascend? Nope. Cannot do it. Well, if not up, then I'm just gonna fucking drop down into nothingness. Yeah, that sounds like a swell plan. I'm really curious. Like, there have been different paths, so the story you get is very different. Is that what is really going on?
Donnelly's addiction is my one true constant. Even though I wake in false dawns and find the landscape changing, flowing inconstantly through my tears, I know his reaching is always upon me.
Whoa, it's all red there. A candle? Really, a candle. A lit candle. Now, there's nothing you have to say about that? A lit candle in this cave is absolutely normal? Well... This background music is really good. It's mysterious. Which really, you know, that's what this is. The fuck? Is this supposed to be this creepy? Because, it kind of is creeping me out. The unknown is always just mysterious and creepy, but yeah. So a path up. Or you can stay down here. Well, actually, this looks
It was as if someone had taken the car and shaken it like a cocktail. The glove compartment had been opened and emptied with the ashtrays and the boot. It made for a crumpled museum, a shattered exhibition.
So that looks like a map, if I ever saw one. Just have no clue. A map of what? What are you a map of? I'm sure some of you are probably just puzzling it out right now, but I have no clue. Nope, no clue. Oh Jesus, on the ceiling as well? Wait, that's the same one, isn't it? It's very much the same one. This is, again, a couple of them. That goatsy. The weird goatsy, but yeah. Yeah, sorry for bringing that up. There are messages here. I'm just baffled as to what they could possibly be. I hope you guys are smarter than I am. It is a beautiful game, though. Well, it's beautiful. Are we really? God damn it. Why? Okay, right. Nothing down here? Good. Yeah, I felt that on his stomach again. It's not a good feeling. Stop it with the height and, you know, drops like that game, please. Guy's been silent for a while. I'm really enjoying the whole sense of exploration here. It works well. Just keeps leading you to new places. Just stick to the side. Jesus. Wow, that was close. Is that blood? Sure looks like blood. Again, a candle. How can there be a lit candle here? That is just... Is that him talking about it being imagined? Is stuff like that just made up? Is he just dreaming it? He's like, yeah, sure, a candle here is fine. Yeah, why not? Well, where are we going now? Wow. That's quite a sight.
I am traveling through my own body, following the line of infection from the shattered femur towards the heart. I swallow fistfuls of painkillers to stay lucid. In my delirium, I see the twin lights of the moon and the Ariel shining to me through the rocks.
So, right or left? Does this actually go anywhere? That one goes up. So, 3 paths. Interesting. Again with this. I'm really curious what is on the other side, though. God damn it. Hmm. Ooh, more drawings. Arrow going to the right and then up. Nope, can't go that way. So right, if we're following the arrow, we should be going up.
I will hold the hand you offered to me, from the summit down to this well, into the dark waters where the small flowers creep for the sun. Headlights are reflected in your retinas, moonlit in the shadow of the crematorium chimney.
Two candles. Letters? Behold, Damascus. Damascus is what? Danger? Is F-A Fagin? Behold, Damascus is faked? I don't know what the last word is. That sucks. Oh Jesus, it's getting elaborate now. Is this showing like an entire path of the fucking island or something? What the hell? What the fuck, man? I'm sure it'll mean something, that's a crazy thing. Damascus. Damascus again. What does that say? Behold. Away from being a city. And you shall be a purpose keep? What? It is hard to read, but still, what the fuck? I'm more and more beginning to wonder what the fuck is going on. And I love that. I love having no clue what's going on. Are we just a guy who's basically dying and is now just tripping? The imagination running wild or something? Yeah, I knew this was gonna happen. Go swim. And even a breath sound, like gasping for air? Okay. At least you do hear the sound of going underwater, though. The sign of him being human. No. Streetlights? I'm on a road? Underwater? I'm fucking telling you, we're just fucking tripping balls. What the? Yeah, this is like, what is this? Hospital bed? No. Yes? really confused. This all feels very menacing in its own way. Okay. Now what? Did we just have a mindfuck moment happening during our trip? Well, I'm very curious if it's going to explain any of this. Any of it. I'm beginning to really think more and more that we're some guy who's got some, I don't know, some bad disease or something, or is terminally ill, tripping on drugs while dying or something. Something like that. Basing it on nothing, really, but it's just a feeling I'm getting, and I'm probably so wrong. I'm probably so wrong. And you're all gonna laugh at me for thinking something like that. I don't know. More candles. The candles don't make sense. Oh, it's a tent. Humans? Interesting. This all looks human enough.
I wish I could have known Donnelly in this place. We would have had so much to debate. Did he paint these stones or did I? Who left the pots in the hut by the jetty? Who formed the museum under the sea? Who fell silently to his death into the frozen waters? Who erected this godforsaken aerial in the first place? Did this whole island rise to the surface of my stomach, forcing the gulls to take flight?
You have some strange questions, guy. You really do. Oh. So we're getting pretty close. Again, what is this? Those photos? Yeah, photos. Again, I think I'm getting the feeling that all the candle points are people remembering him. Like he was in a car crash. So we were in a car crash. That's part of a door. There's something lying next to it.
Of fire and soil, I chose fire. It seemed the more contemporary of the options, the more sanitary. I could not bear the thought of the reassembly of such a ruin. Stitching arm to shoulder and femur to hip, charting a line of thread like traffic stilled on a motorway, making it all acceptable for tearful aunts and traumatized uncles flown in specially for the occasion. Reduce to ash, mix with water, make a phosphorescent paint for these rocks and ceiling.
Wait, is there someone standing up there? Well, that's fucking... Okay, so... My thoughts are now that we have died. And this is our soul journey to someplace. Or is it like moments before we die? And this is... I don't know how to explain the photos being here, but... or how he would see them, but... Yeah, we've died in a car crash, and... I don't know what the fuck this island is or anything, but, yeah. But I'm pretty sure that's what happened. It seems pretty obvious at this point. Yeah, it's like a full-on memorial. And, you know, he was obviously talking about being buried or being cremated, and he chose being cremated. So on the nose. Is this them like trying to fix him up still? Bunch of drugs, you know, a lot of blood loss, a defib. I have no clue where this is gonna lead. Apart from away from the antenna, which is probably bad, but... Again with this. DN? DN? No clue. Is that his daughter? Or something? Someone with a cracked photo. Is that Esther? Could it be Esther? Why would the photo be cracked then, though? So many questions. We've seen this. Point. It's an arrow. This thing is an arrow pointing that way. How do we go this way, though? Figured maybe it would let us walk through the wall or something crazy like that, but no. Still, I say that that's an arrow. That is definitely an arrow. So we want to go that way? Is that what it's saying? Like, I'm trying to figure out what is up with all the arrows pointing.
There were
places.
chemical diagrams on the mug he gave me coffee in, sticky at the handle where his hands shook. He worked for a pharmaceutical company with an office based on the outskirts of Wolverhampton. He'd been travelling back from a sales conference in Exeter, forming a strategic vision for the peddling of antacid yogurt to the European market. You could trace the connections with your finger, join the dots, and whole new compounds would be summoned into activity.
A light. A light from heaven shone around. A light from heaven shone around him. So he was then probably a good guy. We're, you know, to assume that this is all Christian. Not liking this silence. Not liking the crazy ritual chanting in the background either.
From here, I can see my armada. I collected all the letters I'd ever meant to send to you, if I'd have ever made it to the mainland, but had instead collected at the bottom of my rucksack, and I spread them out along the lost beach. Then I took each and every one, and I folded them into boats. I folded you into the creases, and then, as the sun was setting, I set the fleet to sail. Shattered into 21 pieces, I consigned you to the Atlantic, and I sat here until I'd watched all of you sink.
That's sad. That is sad. Ooh, a path up. Yeah, we'll have to go there next. I'd like to go up and then, you know, go all the way up and walk all the way to the beacon, right? On a Sutton. Wait, on a Sutton? On a Sutton, a light from the heaven shone around him, and he fell to the ground. But what are those supposed to be? I don't know. There's 3 things there. This has been really interesting so far, I have to say. Not regretting having bought this at all. Still curious about, you know, what happens if you take a different path in the beginning. Is there such a thing, or is it just like, do you get a little bit of different dialogue and it just moves you on to the same area anyway? Though I don't really see how it would do that in some cases, but yeah, I don't know.
The pain in my leg sent me blind for a few minutes as I struggled up the cliff path. I swallowed another handful of painkillers, and now I feel almost lucid. The island around me has retreated to a hazed distance, whilst the moon appears to have descended into my palm to guide me. I can see a thick black line of infection reaching for my heart from the waistband of my trousers. Through the fugue, it's all the world like the path I have cut from the lowlands towards the aerial.
More giant text. The whole story of him being on painkillers and stuff. I don't know. Could that be them trying to save him?
I've begun my voyage in a paper boat without a bottom. I will fly to the moon in it. I've been folded along a crease in time, a weakness in the sheet of life. Now you've settled on the opposite side of the paper to me. I can see your traces in the ink that soaks through the fiber, the pulped vegetation. When we become waterlogged and the cage disintegrates, we will intermingle. When this paper aeroplane leaves the cliff edge and carves parallel vapor trails in the dark, we will come together.
Alright, so what does that say? And scribble, he was proceeding on his journey. Still don't know what the scribble is, but the sentence makes sense. And was come near to Damascus. And he was...
If only Donnelly had experienced this,